tones it down just a little bit.
Caught me at the right time, baby. Oh, I was at the end. Made me feel like that.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I tried something so different. Like, I know I say that every time, and then I know I follow up with saying that every time, but this time, this is like super different, out of my element. Wow. Just wow. So I have been like plotting on this kind of color for a while. I have a few inspo pictures in my phone that I'm gonna like pop up on the screen somewhere, and I kind of just took from those and made it my own because I have been wanting to try something like, you know, blonde. I wanted to keep a blonde wig, like the base of the wig to be blonde, but I just wanted like funky rainbow highlights, and I didn't want like rainbow like the rainbow. I wanted like different creative kind of colors. As you can see, there's like hot pink, light pink, this like neon orange, the neon yellow. I got blues in here, purples. It's just a bunch of different funky colors, but it all flows, and I just think it looks so freaking good. So I had seen these pictures and I was looking on YouTube. I'm like, rainbow highlights, this and that, and I was not seeing any tutorials for what I wanted. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna have to take the plunge and do my own thing, and I absolutely love how it came out. I also did rooting because I felt like the rooting makes this more like wearable and tones it down just a little bit. I feel like also if I didn't root it, it was gonna be giving too much of a summery look, and this is already bright, but I feel like it, with the rooting, it just kind of tones it down. I can't explain it, but let me know how you guys feel about it. I personally think that I could have went like a little bit smaller on the root, but things happen. You guys know I just started learning how to do rooting, so I'll just get better over time. But I tried a lot of different techniques with coloring today, so you guys are gonna see that today. I tried a lot of different things, so make sure you guys check out the description box to get all the information on this hair. This hair is from Yolissa Hair, which is bomb. This is some bomb blonde hair, okay? It is ping. And also I will leave all the information for the colors that I use and all that kind of stuff, because there's a lot that went into this. But it actually was like an easy process. Once I got the hang of it, it was really easy, and I was like, wow, I'm gonna do more fun colors more often. So if you want to see how I got this look, get all the tea on this, make sure you guys are liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and keep watching. All right guys, brace yourself. There's gonna be a few steps in this video, but we're gonna get through, and I promise you, you know me, I'm gonna make it as simple as possible. So this wig is from Yolissa Hair. As you can see, it looks amazing, the hairline and everything, but it's a little yellowy, so I'm gonna go ahead and root her and tone the hair, I guess. So I'm using this 4N 411 medium brown on the roots, and I'm just mixing it up. Follow the directions on the back. You want to do two things a developer to one bottle of dye. I don't know the proper term, sorry, but just follow the directions. I used 10 developer because I didn't want to over process the hair, so that's what I did. So I'm just applying it, and I wanted a little tiny root. As you guys can see, I wanted a little itty bitty tiny root, but it got a little crazy at the end. And I know it's gonna look really dark at first, but once we go to the next step, that's gonna kind of tone it down, so that's why I wasn't too worried about it. But just apply it like this. I like to use an edge brush, and I like to start with the perimeter of the hair and then work my way through the frontal. So you guys see that there's a little bit of dye on the lace, but luckily I sprayed my wig with Got To Be spray, and honestly there was not one drop of dye on my lace, like not one. So I did a really good job at that. I'm really happy I didn't stain the lace or anything like that. You just have to take your time and use a little comb, use a little brush, and just go through it. You guys are gonna see me doing the perimeter of the hair like I said, and then doing the inside of the wig, or the inside of the frontal, like parting it and making sure all the areas that are partable have rooting, okay? So once I finished rooting the hair, I did wash it out after letting it sit for about 30 minutes. And now I'm going to tone the hair. I'm using this medium beige blonde. I was like torn. I was like, do I want to do an ash blonde, almost gray, to make it really like grungy and like fallish, or do I just want to do a medium beige? And I decided to do the medium beige because I felt like the colors would pop a little bit more, especially since I had a few pastel colors. So again, follow the directions on mixing it. I did use 10 developer even though it suggested 20, but this is already platinum blonde 613 hair, so you don't want to over process this hair. Okay, you just want to tone it and get that yellowness out. I just wanted a nice beigey blonde, so I'm just lathering that on with a super big brush, and I'm just messily doing that. And I'm also applying it to the roots so that I could tone the roots down so it's not as black. So it's not really noticeable on camera, but it did kind of lift the hair a little bit because this is a toner and it is kind of lightening, so it does kind of bring down the color of the root a little bit. So I combed that through the hair, and I also let that sit in the hair for 30 minutes as well. So here we are a few days later, and this is my setup. I put each color in a little bowl with a little tiny brush, and that was it. I use about half of each color. These were the lime crime colors, and I used one ion color, which was not my favorite. I love the lime crime colors, though. They are amazing. I know they're supposed to kind of be canceled, but like I really am here for it. So this is how the hair looks after sitting for a few days and being air dried. It's definitely a better blonde in my opinion. It's just a lot more toned down, but to each his own. If it was like summertime or something, I would have probably kept the 613, or I would have probably done like a platinum blonde, but I really wanted to tone this down but still be bright. You know, I'm a very complex person, so just keep up with me. So I parted the frontal off and acted like that didn't exist. Then I parted the back of the wig into 4 sections. So right now I'm working on this side and this little section, and I promise you I worked in random spots. I picked random colors. So my thought process on this wig was just color, but I still wanted the base of the wig to be blonde. I still wanted you to see blonde. I didn't want a fully colored rainbow wig. I wanted it to still have blonde, so more so blonde highlights. So what I did was in the back of the wig, like the first row that I'm doing, I completely saturated the sections that I'm dyeing. And make sure you guys are saturating it and making sure that it's fully coated, combing through it, adding color, combing through it, adding color. And I did that throughout the bottom. And my strategy for coloring was like pastel color, bright color, pastel color, bright color. It just seemed to flow for me. Before I actually started doing this, I was like, maybe I need to look at the color wheel and see complementary colors, this and that. But you don't have to be so technical. Just have fun with it. And just add the color to the wig to your discretion. If you want more of a blue base, use more blues and purples. If you want more oranges and reds, do that. I really wanted the yellow to pop, so more so the yellow, the pinks, and the orange was more what I was going for with this wig. So that's what I did. So right now you're going to see me just adding the color, and yeah, it's a tedious step. I think this took me 2.5 hours, only because in between each color you literally have to wipe your hands off and start again, so that when you're touching the hair, you're not getting one color on another color. You see what I'm saying? Like, it was a process, but once I got the hang of it, it was super, super easy, you guys. So just get into the swing of things, put on a good show, and just be creative. Like, you don't have to copy this. And I know my angles are a little wonky because I was like really getting into it and kind of forgot about the camera, but just like have fun with it. So I'm wrapping the hair in foil just to avoid color transfer. This is not processing the hair because we're literally just depositing color on it and it's kind of staining the hair. It's not actually dyeing the hair. Does that make any sense? Because I did not use any developer or anything. So I'm simply protecting the hair with the aluminum foil, and in between each section I made sure I put down some saran wrap just so that the color, like right now this purple color, would not transfer onto the blonde part. So after I did that first row, I took out a little slither of blonde and I put it over it. Then I proceeded dyeing again because I kind of wanted the blonde to still peek through. I didn't want it to be all color, so I was like, let me just skip some parts and leave some blonde in between. So now I finished that first section, that bottom section of my hair, and I'm moving to the midsection. And this time I'm doing an ombre, I guess, or like a dip dye situation. I'm applying the colors just to the tips of the hair because as I got to the front of the hair, I wanted you to see more blonde around my face with like peekaboos of color. So I'm adding more color to the bottom, and as I get to the top, you're going to see me adding less and less color, but I still wanted it to be a nice even transition. I didn't just want color in the back or just on the top. I wanted it throughout the hair, but in a certain kind of way. So in this midsection right here, I'm literally doing different colors of like ombre, and I just did again light color like pastel, then bright. And then after this, for that last section, because again I wanted the yellow to be the main color other than blonde, I did a ombre of yellow, and that was random. I was like, what am I gonna do next? And I was like, you know what, we're just gonna do yellow because why not? At this point, why not? Alrighty, so moving on to the frontal part of my hair, which is honestly the most important part. It's all important, but this is what everybody's going to see. So I did this like little triangle parting situation for the front of my hair because I knew I wanted to do this in the middle part. So I wanted the front pieces to be yellow. So I put that neon yellow all in the front from the rooting down to the tips, saturated it. And let me tell you, this yellow, this was not an ion or lime crime. I have to leave the brand below, but it was so concentrated. Like, it stained my hand so bad, but I'm not mad at it. It was really, really pretty. I don't know why it kind of turned green. Maybe it has something to do with the color I had at the rooting, but it was just yellow that I used. I did not use any green, which I don't know why I didn't use neon green in this. That would have been fire, but that's neither here nor there. So I'm just applying that and concentrating that throughout the wig. Like, I saturated that, and I parted it there because with the way I parted this out, I could wear this like in a flip over, and it could be on one side, or I could do it down the middle, or if I do a side part, all that yellow is going to be like framing my face. So once I did that, I went to the side parts of my hair, and now I'm going to be doing this technique that I forgot what it's called. Oh my gosh. It's like teasing. So I'm basically, this side part I'm now going to be taking into 3 sections, and I'm going to be teasing the hair like this. So I'm just pushing it up, pushing it up, pushing it up, and the hair that's left out, I'm going to be applying color to it. So I went from light pink to, I believe, orange to hot pink, or hot pink to orange. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it doesn't matter. I did the same thing to both sides because I did want the front of my hair to be kind of cohesive. The back was more messy and more fun, but the front, I was like, okay, we're gonna get this together just a little bit, okay? So yeah, that's pretty much all I did. I wrapped that part in foil, and that was it. And I did it like this because when everything's washed and brushed down, you're going to see literally highlights of the color. So it's not going to be like chunky in the front. If I had just took those pieces and dyed it pink, orange, and then hot pink, it would have just been chunks of color, and I feel like it would have been too much. I think it looked way better and was more of a gradient effect with me doing this method. So to each his own. Again, do what works for you and whatever is going to give you the look that you want. But I really had a vision for this, and I really executed like, oh my gosh. So like I said, I did this method on both sides of the front of the wig in the same exact order to make sure that it was even, because I kind of was being a little OCD about the front. But I hope this technique makes sense to you guys. You guys will see at the end, like, it just made it a lot softer. Like if I had done chunks, it would have looked crazy. So I really like that I did it like this. And then I did leave this color on for, I believe, 4 or 5 hours, and then I rinsed it out. But I left this clip in here to show you guys this had no bleeding. Like the color did not bleed through, it didn't get muddy, nothing like that, which I was super nervous about because I was like, oh my god, I did all this hard work and it's just going to become one big blob. But you guys, it did not bleed. The colors were amazing. Like when I tell you how I dyed my hair is how my hair came out. There's no blotchy spots, there's no bleeding, there's no nothing. Like it came out so good. Like I'm so happy. And at this point I was still a little nervous about the rooting. I was like, it's just too much. Like it's just root and then color and then blonde, it's just too much. But it actually ended up coming out really good. So yeah, I'm just rinsing it out at this point. I hadn't added any shampoo or anything, and then I did use shampoo and conditioner. I actually was running out of shampoo and conditioner, so I used a random one. I didn't use any color, any moisture, any silicone, nothing. I just used random shampoo and conditioner. All right. Alrighty, so this is the wig. I did let it air dry overnight and then I blow dried it straight just so that it was a little like sleeker. And this is how the wig looks on my head. It looks great. Do you guys see how the transitions in the front are a lot softer? It's not so like blocky. It's not so choppy. Like it just looks a certain way. Am I tripping? But I'm just applying my wig how I always do. I didn't want to switch it up because I felt like the coloring in the beginning of this video was already super overwhelming. So I just wanted to leave it super simple and do what I normally do. This wig was super easy to install. The lace looked good. The hairline was great. So it was super easy. So for styling, I did want to do curls, but I felt like this hair was so bright. I didn't want to do crimps. That was doing too much. I didn't want to do like my regular curls. So what I did was I took my wand and I curled the hair, but I left the end straight. I didn't curl the ends all the way down. I just kind of held it and it gave me like that wave that I liked. And when it dropped, you guys, it looked so good. So this is how I wanted to style it. I could have done it straight too. That was another option, but I felt like it needed a little va-va-voom. So as I'm letting my lace lay, I made sure that I was curling my hair. Again, you know me, I like to kill two birds with one stone, so that's what I did.
To the top off, I'm dripping like hot sauce. I got clutch in this clean raw. Let me give me that mean mouth. Hit that pussy like golf ball. I can do this without y'all. I don't look like I lost out. I go back to the top house. Spread that bitch and that belt down. Cash it in and I cash out. So let's just do a stash house. I ain't taking no handout. When they call it, I'm in drought. For them niggas, they bitch down. Blow it back when I'm in town. Is it gonna you the best? I done went and got a jet. I'm about to flex. This an automobile baguette. Rocket diamonds on wet. I can walk around my neck. I just start the word relax. When the ball bitch legs. I take my friends.
So now I'm just cutting my lace, and as you can see, my hair looked so good when it was combed out. And then I'm going to continue laying my lace, and that, you guys, wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think down below. Would you have done anything different? Did you like it? I actually really liked the finished look. I think it came out great. Again, I wish I would have done like a little bit less rooting, but other than that, it looked great. So comment down below also if you guys want more fun tutorials. I tried to make this as easy as possible. So yeah, here we are. Here's the finished product. It looks great. Make sure you guys are checking out Yolissa Hair. I will leave all the information down in the description box, as well as all of the colors and shades that I used today. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.
Niggas sending me threats. I done bought another bitch. I'm protecting my flesh. Nigga fall my back. 50 front on my head. I'm coming no wreck. I can never get a text. I should not like a team now. I got back on my feet now. I can take out my team now. I'ma hold my whole team down. Niggas hate I don't see how. Made it out of the damn south. And I don't even know how. About to put me a business out. To the top off. I'm dripping like hot sauce. I got clutch in this clean raw. Let me give me that mean mouth. Hit that pussy like golf ball. I can do this without y'all.